And we're back discussing Ducks Unlimited with Rich Thurman today. And I wanted to hear this little story that you had of, because we want to talk a bit about yourself and your personal interest and involvement in this program or in this organization. So what's this story about? It has something to do with hunting ducks and then a goose comes along or something?
Right, we'll fill you in. It was about 2 years ago, and Steve Pribble, who's a retired fish biologist here from the state of Oregon, and Fred Coleman, who's our currently area chairman for the Gorge chapter. We're duck hunting on the Columbia River a couple of years ago, and that was one of the first times Steve Pribble and I had hunted with Fred. And so we're hunting on the Columbia River, and all of a sudden, and we're duck hunting, so we're ready for ducks, and all of a sudden we hear this goose honking. It was just really close. So Steve Pribble and I are busily changing our shells out of our gun from duck loads to goose loads, getting our goose calls out. We're started calling, and Fred goes, "Hello." It was his phone. It was his ring on his phone, on his cell phone. So we hadn't realized the first time with Fred. We didn't know that. So now we laugh every time we get the duck blind. Fred, you got your phone call? If you got a different phone ring this year, you still got the goose on there.
Right. Wow. Well, yeah, you definitely you got to think about those things now, I guess. You know, carrying cell phones if somebody's got a goose ring on there and you're out duck hunting. So, all right. Well, moving on then. How did you get interested in the sport of hunting waterfowl?
Okay, for me, that was my dad got me into the sport. He was a duck hunter back from California. He used to pass shoot, is all he ever did. So I learned how to duck hunt, just finding a place where the ducks go from point A to point B. It's how I got involved in duck hunting way back when I was in my teens, 15, 14, 13 years old. In fact, as soon as I would turn 12 or 13, I got my Oregon hunter safety card and was duck hunting. So I got my start there. But for me, over the years, being a wildlife biologist, I'm looking at the benefit and the resource that I dearly love, and try to give payback. I'm going to give back to what I dearly enjoy doing. And so for me, it was a simple transition, especially after I retired from the Forest Service. I did a lot of wildlife projects for the Forest Service with a lot of other groups and stuff like that, but ducks was always my obsession, so waterfowl was always my obsession. So when I got the chance and got the opportunity to work with waterfowl a little more, that was when I retired, that I was able to get into Ducks Unlimited. I've been working with the local chapters here for about 10 years now, with the banquets and things. Prior to that, I was always a Ducks Unlimited member, but never part of the committees. And so since the last, like I said, 10 years or so, I've been an active committee member, and also gone up through the ranks of as area chairman and district chair, and those different titles that you get as you go up through the lines.
Yeah.
But for me, it's paying back for something I dearly love.
And that's kind of you bring up kind of a unique point. I mean, a lot of times the sport that you may be interested in doesn't always afford an outlet to give back. And in this way, you're able to actually do a direct giving back. So kind of a cool way there.
It is.
Yeah. You guys also have a TV program.
Yes, we
Ducks
do.
Unlimited on Versus.
Yes.
And it's called Ducks Unlimited TV?
Yes, it is. And it's their programs come out, I think they have somewhere between 10 and 15 programs they film a year, and they come out at various times. It's on Versus, and it's also on the Outdoor Channel. It's another channel that's already a network that it's affiliated with. And basically, the Ducks Unlimited TV programs have obviously a hunting segment to it. They also always have a conservation segment, and generally tied with wherever the program is being filmed. So if it's in the Columbia River Basin, it's going to tied with what projects and where Ducks Unlimited emphasis is in that area and what they're working on. And then there's usually a segment on either dog training or dog health or helping with your dogs when you're out hunting. So there's a segment there. So it's a very well done program, and typical Ducks Unlimited, it's always first class. So.
Yeah. Speaking of first class, you guys put out a really nice magazine.
Yes, we do.
And where does this magazine actually go? Where's it circulated?
It's circulated to all the current members. Every member gets a magazine. It's put out 6 times a year, and basically, so it's shipped to all the members in the United States. We also have a Green Wing portion of that too, which basically the Green Wing members have memberships, and they used to have a little magazine called The Puddler. That's been online. There's been some other ways to do it, but they also have a magazine or booklet that they get too.
And the Green Wings, that's the kids program?
That's the kids program.
Okay, so the kids get a membership. They also get a subscription to the magazine.
Yes.
Well, great. Well, Rich, thanks so much for coming on. Really appreciate you telling us more about the organization and everything that Ducks Unlimited does. And best of luck to you guys. And really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
So, all right, you guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time right here on Localite. John Compton here saying thanks again for watching. And remember, if you've got a guest idea, let us know. Just visit localite.com.